Welcome to the exam review for exam number 2 for Thermoset Resins. I'm unlikely to do one of these for exam 3 and one of these for the final exam because you will have access to all of your quiz materials through the Canvas modules. But because we had to switch over to the online session kind of midway through this exam material, I'm going to show you the hard copy answer keys that I have and go through those with you. As I mentioned in an announcement, but I'll mention it here again, if you wish to have your quizzes back to you, I'm happy to scan those and send them to you. I'll do the same with the half sheets. However, you have to request that formally. In other words, send me a Canvas message or an email. I have 23 of you. There's a lot of stuff to scan, and so I'm not just going to do it for everybody and send it out. If you want it, let me know, and then I'll scan it and get it to you. And again, if you want it in time to take your exam, you're going to have to give me a little bit of lead time in order to scan it. So the first order of business is to go over the quizzes, and so I'm going to pull those up now. First quiz that we took as part of this unit is quiz number 3. There are some questions on here about the final project, so I will go over those. Once again, if something is true, it's a true statement. If it's false, I'll tell you why it's false. In fact, one of these is now true that was false when this was given, but anyhow. You are welcome to use this to study from. Like I said, if you want your quiz back in at least electronic form, let me know and I will scan it for you. So, quiz number 3, answer key. So, question number 1. All the preliminary assignments, the final project, and the final project presentation must be completed to get any credit for the final project at all. That is true. Now, we've already done the preliminary reference and outline assignments. That's good. You've already chosen your topic. That's great. All that's left at this point is the paper and the presentation. Presentations will be done via YouTube like they have in the past, and papers will be submitted to your Dropbox and Canvas. Please visit the PowerPoint that explains what I expect for the final project paper and ask your questions early. Moving on to question 2. The title page and the reference page do not count toward the final page count of the final project paper. That is true. Question 3. There are no extra credit opportunities on the final project. At the time that this quiz was given, the correct answer was false. However, now there are no extra credit opportunities on the final project. So I'm not giving you your point back if you answer true to this, but because at the time the correct answer was false. I would have allowed in-person presentations to be given if we were allowed to do that. However, we are not. So those 3 questions are not on exam 2, but we still have our final project to do, so please make note of those things. If any of that is news to you, please visit the final project presentation. Okay, question 4. Leo H. Bakeland used pressure and a closed mold to overcome the problems of bubble formation and evolution of gases and steam in early phenolics. That is true. 5. The use of peroxides requires high temperature because peroxides do not readily react at low temperature. That is false. Peroxides do readily react at low temperature. In fact, using high temperature in the presence of a peroxide can cause what we refer to politely as a violent exotherm. In other words, it can cause explosions. So that is, number 5 is false. 6 and 7. There was a strategy to these. If you didn't know the answer true to both or false to both, and you'd get one right, because one is true and one is false. Number 6 is true. Resolphenolic resins are produced via alkaline catalysis. Number 7, however, is false. Novolac phenolic resins are produced via acid catalysts, not alkaline. Now for the 3 structures that are at the bottom. Number 8 is formaldehyde, number 9 is phenol, and 10 is hexamethylene tetramine. I expect hexamethylene tetramine to be what you answer on everything. When you have your degree and you work in industry, you can call it hexa, but for the purpose of your exam, it's hexamethylene tetramine. So, if you have any questions about any of this, please let me know, and I will clear those up for you. Moving on to quiz 4. This was one slide in the amino and furans presentations. So these are the correct answers. The first blank up here, this is furfural, Al, furfural. This is furfuryl, YL alcohol. This is furan. This is tetrahydrofurfuryl alcohol, and this is tetrahydrofuran. Each of these blanks were worth 2 points apiece. So like I said, if you have questions on any of the quiz questions, please shoot me a Canvas message or an email, and I'm happy to answer those. So normally what we do at this point, we go over the format of the exam, which is what I will do. So I'm going to close these out, and we will go to the Canvas page, which is where your course is now administered. So there are two modules that have to do specifically with Exam 2. There's Exam 2 study material, so there's a structure study guide, and there are your homework questions discussion. This is where I need you to go if you have questions on homework 2. And just like in class, if you ask me the question, I will give you the correct answer in the form of this discussion. One of your fellow classmates gave me this idea so that everybody could have access to as many questions as they wanted. Kudos to them for giving me this idea. I'm not super practiced in doing discussions online, so I may not have set this up properly. If you try to ask a question and somehow you can't, please let me know and I'll try and fix it. But this is where you should ask questions about homework 2 if you have them. So, going back to the modules, you can also send me an email or a Canvas message and I will answer the question for you, but that is a more public forum so all of your classmates can see it. So, this video will be in the Exam 2 study material on top of the structure study guide and the discussion link. Homework 2 is found in Exam 2. That is the same format as we have done in the past. In fact, I have these copied and sitting in my office. I just wasn't able to give them to you. So fill in the blank. Each blank is worth 1 point, and put it in the drop box. So this needs to be turned in before you start your exam. Everything is time-stamped. Turn it in before you start your exam. One thing to keep note on the homework is only available until the exam closes. So it's currently available now. It is only available until this time on April 12th. So the same time as the exam closes, you will not have access to the homework anymore. So please keep that in mind. And then Exam 2. This covers all of the Exam 2 lecture modules, not just the stuff that was online, so not just unsaturated polyesters, but also phenolics and amino and furan resins as well. So it's a lot like our in-class exams, but, and this may be good or this may be bad for you, but there are actually 20 structure matching multiple choice. Now what that is I give you a structure and I give you 3 choices on what that structure can be. So it probably is a little easier for you than just the structure matching from the word bank. But there are 10 true false, 20 multiple choice, and 20 structure matching multiple choice. It is a 90-minute time-limited exam. It doesn't require a lockdown browser, doesn't require a password or a webcam. So make sure you can complete it in the 90 minutes given. So at this point, I will conclude the video, and I will reiterate again, if you have any questions or concerns about Exam 2, please reach out to me. Explore the Exam 2 study material and the Exam 2 module. You are not allowed into the Exam 2 module until you complete your unsaturated polyesters module. So you may be able to see this video, but if you can't see Exam 2, it probably means you haven't done something in unsaturated polyesters. So please complete all of your quizzes for unsaturated polyesters, and then you will have access to the homework and Exam 2. So good luck, and I look forward to your questions.